Football coming home, of course, to Wembley on Wednesday. England face Denmark in the semi-finals. After that, extraordinarily impressive win over Ukraine on Saturday night.
It was a thing of beauty. Denmark had its own victory, of course, over the Czech Republic with a 2-1 win. They've been a formidable team from the start, but there can only be one winner, obviously, to go into the final. And joining us now is former England manager Sam Allardyce and former Manchester United and Denmark goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel. Sam, we'll start with you. Where were you watching the game on Saturday?
I was watching it in my villa in Spain, so I had a fantastic evening with an ice-cold beer, watching the game. I felt very comfortable, actually, after the first goal went in such a short period.
I have to say, I was saying earlier, I'm old enough to remember the campaign in 1966, when it was obvious about halfway through that England had the momentum and was likely to go all the way. For the first time in my life since then, I got that feeling on Saturday. About halfway through the game, I thought, do you know what? We might actually do this. And I haven't felt that for all my adult life.
Absolutely. I mean, I was at Wembley in '96 actually to watch that game live, and I was absolutely devastated when England didn't get through. But certainly this time, as difficult a game it's going to be against Denmark, and we really have to be very, very cautious about the way that they're playing. They're having a fantastic run, as is England, and seem to be coming at the top of their form at the right time, as England is as well. So not quite as easy as the Ukraine game, of course, much more difficult tactically. We'll have to be very careful about Denmark's threat, and of course they have a fantastic team spirit, as does England. So it's looking like a very, very, very good game, very interesting game, and of course we would hope that our home advantage and our fans will play a big part in getting us over the line.
What was wonderful to see, I thought on Saturday...
That's someone saying that they can see you on the telly.
You're on telly! No, what I thought was wonderful and really unprecedented in this tournament was the way that the English forwards really went up to their defenders and basically said, I'm coming through you. I'm sorry, there may be 2 or 3 of you, but I'm going to weave through and cross. And they did. They delivered. It was a real finding of confidence, wasn't it? And a finding of real, beautifully talented form.
Absolutely. I think that form has come better and better, and performances have got better and better as the tournament has progressed. And I think that the confidence in the side, particularly now with the defensive solidarity and the defensive side of this team, is absolutely fantastic. Having conceded no goals at all yet means that any team that's facing England need to be very, very good to break them down, and that is a great platform for success in the tournament. And I think that if they keep that defensive record going, and Harry Kane, Sterling, frontline, talented players, creative players now who gain more and more confidence, will create obviously a lot of opportunities against Denmark.
Right, let's talk to Peter Schmeichel, because well, Peter, your son is going to be playing on Wednesday. You know what it is like to win this competition, playing for Denmark back in 1992. What do you make of the threat that England pose to Denmark?
Well, you have to sort of realise that you're playing a good team when you reach the semi-finals. So any team you'd play would be a quality team. There's no doubt about that. You know, we could have played Italy, we could have played Spain. They're also in the semi-finals. They are equally as strong. But I think what we have proven in our campaign is that we are a strong team as well, and we can be a danger to anyone. And we have a chance against anyone, and that kind of confidence, I'm absolutely sure the team will take that into this game on Wednesday.
Well, as Susanna says, I mean, you've got more skin in the game than a lot of Danish people watching, because your son's playing. You know, that must make you feel A, proud, and B, incredibly tense.
Yeah, and I'm also working on the game, so you know, I'm quite involved. You know, I've learned a long time ago to separate those feelings and, you know, compartmentalize them, put them in boxes. And if I'm working on the game, of course, I can work, you know, I can analyze the game. I can talk about him, good or bad. And I've also learned not to look at the game with my son in it, but with Casper in it, and just be confident enough that, you know, he's good enough to be there, and therefore I don't have to sort of be extra nervous or extra extra nervous because he's in there.
That's a recipe, actually, which I think that we in England should follow, because, as you know, the English watch England playing with tension levels that go through the ceiling. I mean, we just can't control our tension. You know, we have no fingernails left after the first 5 minutes. Could you just offer a few tips to English fans on keeping their cool and just keeping things in perspective on Wednesday?
I think that's been tried and tested and no one's been successful, so I'm not going to go there.
Peter, I want to just ask about Jordan Pickford, the England goalkeeper, because he's become the first goalkeeper to keep 5 clean sheets across the first 5 games of a European Championships. One of the things that people are struck by with Jordan Pickford is the way that whenever the ball comes close to his goal, he runs out to, once he's saved it or deflected it or whatever he does, he has a go at the defenders. It's something that you've done as well in your career. What is he saying to the... Is he cross with them? Is he giving them tips? What's he saying to them in those moments?
Well, you have to look at how the games have panned out for England, and Jordan's had very little to do. He's had, maybe a save in every game, and if anything, a couple of back passes to deal with. I think it's a way for him to keep connected with the team, to make sure the team remembers that he's there behind them, and basically just to keep him in the game, feeling that he's still there. And the big thing about when you play in dominant sides is, as a goalkeeper, how do you keep your concentration? How do you feel connected to the game? That could be it, but to be honest, you have to ask him precisely what he says and why he's doing it, because I don't really know.
He may not want to share, to be perfectly honest. Sam, it is a team where they are playing literally as a team, aren't they? I mean, every single member of that team, and you could say the squad, is remarkable. And, I've mentioned Jordan Pickford, of course, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish. They are a remarkable set of players. Gareth Southgate himself has said it's hard to know who to pick.
There's no doubt about that. I think throughout the whole of the tournament, if you look at the squad that England have, it is the strongest squad. And I think that certainly the cancellation of the Euros last year, I think, has done England proud in terms of an extra year. These younger players have developed even more, had more experience in Champions League football and the Premier League. And I think that's coming to fruition now. But the size of the squad and the talent of the squad is what it's all about. And Gareth has used the talent of the squad very, very well indeed. He's made lots of big choices that could be criticised, but at the moment, every choice he's made has paid off. And long that may continue, of course, because obviously going into this game, everybody will be looking at what system does he pick, what players does he pick, does he change the system again? Does he pick a different team to what he picked against the Ukraine? And does he need to use that squad to its full potential again, which he's done up to now absolutely brilliantly?
And the big question, and hopefully it won't come to this, but what are your thoughts about it going to penalties and extra time?
I don't think it will. And certainly I don't think this one, because both sides will want to try and win this game in 90 minutes. So I think it'll be settled in 90 minutes. But if I'm wrong and it goes to extra time, that will be obviously who will make fewest mistakes then when the fatigue kicks in. And then obviously if it does end up with penalties, I think England will be very confident that they'll be okay.
Well, if it does go to penalties, I'm leaving the room.
Yeah, well, Peter, what does Casper think about it going to penalties?
I honestly don't know. You have to ask him if he's available at any press briefings. But I'm sure he would feel the same as I did, that it's yet another challenge. You have to deal with that. It's part of the job that you've chosen to do. And you know how significant it is. You know how big it is. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much as a goalkeeper. And he will be prepared for it. I think one thing he will think of, though, is that the only ever time that Denmark was in the European Championship semi-final, Denmark did win on penalties. So you know, he can bring that into it.
Well, good luck to your son on Wednesday, but not that much luck. Just a bit.
That's terrible.
No.
No, I can
Good
only
luck
apologise.
to, you know, may the best men win.
Absolutely.
Peter.
That's better.
That's and Peter, Sam, thanks both very much indeed for joining us. You can watch all the action, of course, from England versus Denmark on Wednesday live and exclusive here on ITV.